Good morning and welcome to the next episode of the Grey Nomad Knits. I'm coming to you from Perth in Western Australia, and today I have the house to myself. It's Saturday morning and my hubby is helping my brother-in-law with some brick paving. Eldest daughter is away on Bali on holidays and youngest daughter is at work. We do have the cat around, so he may make an appearance, but at the moment he's sitting on top of the lounge a sofa in our lounge room waiting for everybody to come home. He's looking out the window. I've got a croaky voice. Okay, the weather here. What a wonderful start to summer we're having here in Perth. It's been lovely and mild, mostly in the mid to low 20s. It is warming up to the 30s next week, so I think summer's definitely on its way. But I am making the most of these beautiful mild days. I can't do a lot at the moment because, here comes the cat. He may make a visit in a minute. I've got my iPad sitting on top of one of his cat trees, so he may not like that. Yesterday I had an injection in my good knee, so I went to the specialist and it turns out I have to have both knees replaced. He said they're really, really bad, which I kind of knew. So in the better leg, he's given me an injection to keep it going. So in March, I'm having my first knee replacement done, and then about 4 months after that, he will do the other knee. So today and tomorrow, I have to rest it as much as I can. So I thought sitting down and talking to all you lovely people would be a good way of doing that. And at the moment, Theo is investigating all my knitting bags. Okay. I'm wearing something today that I actually knit myself. This is the Manzanita Tee by Romy Hill, and I haven't worn it for a long time because it's too cold to wear it in winter, and in summer it's usually too warm. But these lovely low 20s days are perfect. I've got the book here. I purchased this book some time ago and it's actually on the front cover. I'm not terribly happy with the way my neckline sits. I think this area, I had to make the biggest size to fit my hip area, which of course I should have downgraded to a smaller size up here. But I wasn't very good at modifying patterns back then, so it's fine for now, but I have noticed that there is a hole in the back, so some little creepy crawlies have found it in my drawer, maybe a silverfish or something. It's just one little hole. And I'm really happy with how this fits on the whole now, so I'm going to have a look and see if I've still got any of the yarn left and see if I can do a mending job on it. Theo, what are you doing? Oh, he's having a big yawn. Yeah, so that's the book. It's called New Lace Knitting by Rosemary Hill. She likes to be known as Romy. And it's the, what did I say it was? It's the Manzanita Tee. Now the yarn I used in this was a yarn. My husband did a trip to Mongolia. Just excuse me a moment. My husband was doing a trip to Mongolia some years ago, and while he was there he found a wool shop. So he went and he bought me this yarn. He thought it was Russian cashmere, but it wasn't. It was 100%, well, almost 100% wool. I think it's got a tiny bit of cashmere in it. It's Alize yarn. I think it's made in Turkey. And I think the branding of it was the Kashmira yarn, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got the labels anymore, and the only Alize yarn I can find on Google with any cashmere in it is the Kashmira yarn, and I think it's only got a very small percentage. But it knitted up beautifully. I love the lace yoke, and it actually fits really well. I'm not supposed to be standing up a lot, but I'll see if I can stand up and show you. So it's got this lovely picot hem. So yeah, you probably couldn't see a lot from that, but it does fit well, except it's just this collar I'm not happy with. But I'm not that unhappy with it that I wouldn't wear it. So I'm definitely going to have a hunt through all my yarn stash and see if I can find a teensy scrap of it and mend that hole in the back. Okay, let's get on to the whips. I don't have any Oh, actually, I have got one finished object that I'll talk about later. But for now, I want to show you the progress on my Herzblut shawl. So here it is. Now, I have shown you this before, and I absolutely love it. So it's the Herzblut shawl by Wollmuschi. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I will put it on the screen. Oh, it's upside down. Look at this, it's so beautiful. The kit included all different varieties of yarn, but I'm so happy with it. I'll see if I can find some and show you. So we've got some whole... Sorry, Theodore, he gets called when he's naughty. Holst yarn, Holst garn, and that's the super soft 100% wool. And we've got Jamieson's Spindrift of Shetland, and we've got this one, Lamana of Shetland. And I think that's it for the different brands. So there's three different brands of wool, but they seem to all mesh together beautifully. I was a bit worried at first because I'm the world's worst stranded knitting person. Oh, sorry, Theo, what are you doing? Oh, he's so naughty. I don't want to move the camera around because I'll never get it in the right place again. So at the moment I'm working on this lovely border. So I'm almost, I think I've only got another 2 or 3 rows to do. Then you do a row of purl bumps, and then you basically do a mirror of this border after the purl bumps. Then it gets folded down so the purl bumps are on that folded edge, and it gets sewn down, I think, on the wrong side, which on the sides that I have sticked, it will cover those sticks. Let me find a stick and show you. I can tell where the sticks are because I've got all this mess. So here's a stick here. So this border, when it's finished, will fold down, and so, can you see that? It will fold down over the stick and get sewn down like that. So you won't see any of that messy stick. Now, I was knitting happily away on this border, and in the chart, for the most part of this shawl, this background colour was the white squares, and the detailing work was the black squares, okay? But for some reason in the border, the background colour is the black squares and the details are the white squares. Well, of course, I totally didn't notice that. I thought it was weird how, when I checked the colour changes, that they were sort of in different columns this time, but I just went with it anyway. And then I thought, I don't think I'm doing this right, but I was already up to about here. And, you know, these rows, there's 400 and something stitches on the long row. So you've got the triangle with the long edge, then the shorter sides that come down have got 200 and something stitches. And there's no way I was going to unpull all that. I did think about it, but when I looked at it, I thought, you know what? And I looked at the picture, which I can't show you at the moment, but I'll try and insert a photo here. And I don't think it actually really makes that much difference to the look of the shawl. I thought just for fun, after the purl bumps, I might switch them around so that the other side is the correct way, just to see, you know, what look the designer was going for more than anything. But on the whole, I don't think it's really going to matter. So these areas should have been the dark colour, these areas should have been the pale colour. You live and learn. I'm going to try next time I'm working on this to take a bit of video footage as well, because I'm not a good, well, it's not that I'm not good, I'm not a fast stranded knitter. I cannot get the concept of holding yarns in my separate hand. So I keep the background colour on my right hand side, usually on a wool spindle, and then the other colour I just let drop in my lap, and I just knit as I normally do, picking up and dropping. And I know it's time consuming, but it's the way I've got used to it. I'm actually quite fast at it now, but I don't actually want to change the way I do it. I'm happy with the way I do it, And I think that's the thing in knitting. Sometimes we get a bit tied up with, is this the correct way? You know what? The correct way is the way that you're happy doing it. So I admire all these people that can knit along really fast with their two hands doing, you know, holding the yarn, one in this hand and one in this hand. But it's not for me. So my progress is always a lot slower than anyone else. But I'm really happy with how this is turning out. It's going to be so lovely, so warm. And I'm going to have a lot of yarn left over as well, which I'll be able to use in some other projects. Now I have to tell you that all these needles hanging off, when I'm being watched, when I sit knitting this at night, a certain little four-legged fluffy beast likes to hop up on my lap, and he thinks these are his personal toy things. So it's quite a juggling act. I have to sort of tuck them behind my back and do all sorts of things. So that's making me slower as well. So that's the Herzblut. I wrote it all down today so I'd get it right. The Herzblut Shawl by Wollmuschi. Check out her website. She's got some beautiful, beautiful things. My next project is the Phoenix Shawl by Hooked on Sunshine. It's the second time I've made this and I'm absolutely loving it. I've got now to the first colour change and you can actually see it here more than you can in real life. It's very subtle. It's just these last row or two have introduced one strand of the darker colour. So I don't know if you can really see it. Probably when I've done a few more rounds you can. I think I'm only on the second round. It takes quite a while now to do a round, but let me hold it up for you so you can see the progress. I'm loving it so much. I think I'm over halfway through now, but of course as the rounds are getting bigger, it uses more yarn and takes longer. So I'm really looking forward now to seeing I'm on the third ball. I have 6 balls of yarn and I'm on the third ball. So it's this yarn here. It's the Hobie Cotton Kings Salt and Shadow. And you can see how it blends out to the black. This is a gift from my sister. These are really her colours. And I did show it to her. She knows I'm doing it. I did show it to her before I got to the colour change. And she really likes it, so that's a good sign. I think if I did it in this yarn again, I'd go down a size hook. I'm doing this in a size 4. And I think maybe a 3.5 would have been better because it's very open and loose. But having said that, it also drapes beautifully. So it means, I guess, the smaller hook size you use, the stiffer the project would become. So on the whole, I'm really, really happy with it. It's such a beautiful pattern. If you like to crochet, have a look on their website. They have some beautiful things on there. And I pay a bit extra and get the video tutorials because even after crocheting now for a few years, I still get confused as to where I'm supposed to stick my hook at the start and end of a round or start and end of a row. So yeah, they're really useful videos. So I'm very happy with that. I'm hoping by the time I show it to you next month, I'll have quite a lot more done and you'll be able to see those colour changes really beautifully. And my last work in progress is my Summerwood, let me get it right, the Summerwood Tee by Liv Ulven. And I'm absolutely loving how this is. It's a beautiful, delicate lace pattern. Look at that. I'm almost finished with the main body. I took it off the needles and put it onto some waste yarn the other day. And oh my gosh, I can't tell you how happy I'm with it. The fit is perfect. And I didn't do a gauge swatch either, but I was very careful taking all my measurements. I did it to the length it said, but I just felt it needed that much more, so I decided to do 2 more pattern repeats. And I only have, I think, 2 rows left to go, and then I'll be splitting for the sleeves. So it's going to be just lovely. Who knows where I'll be with it the next time I show you. The lace pattern is very easy, and it's so beautiful. I'm just going to look at that with the light shining through. It's really pretty. It comes up, I will put a picture here, but you'll see it comes up in a raglan And I think the sleeves are just stockinette, which will be a lovely, lovely, lovely contrast. The yarn I'm using is, it's a Tasmanian yarn called White Gum Wool, and it's their 4-ply fingering weight merino, and it's the colour Flax Lily. It's so beautiful. I think you can get this colour in all their different weights of yarn. What's that on there? Not quite sure. It has got quite a halo. I am a bit worried it's going to pill a lot. I think actually, I know it's going to pill a lot because it's already pilling and I haven't even finished it yet. But I think that's the nature of this gorgeous yarn. It's not superwash, but it's quite a loose twist. So I don't know if you can see the twist on that. It's so luxurious though, it feels, God, it could be cashmere. I keep looking at the wrong side of my iPad, sorry. It could be cashmere, you know, for the softness of it. And look, pilling to me is not a big disaster. You just every couple of wears give it a bit of a comb over. And, well, if something's going to be loved enough that it does start to peel, then that's good because it means you're wearing it. It's really lovely. I've done it exactly to pattern. I haven't made any changes except for making it a bit longer. I hope you like it as much as I do, and I love this colour. It's showing a bit more burgundy on the screen. It's a real, it's a real plummy colour. Maybe it's because of the pink top I'm wearing. It's somewhere between this colour and burgundy. So, it's a plum tone, I would say. Absolutely beautiful, and I wish we had touch-o-vision so that you could smell it. I wish we had touch-o-vision so you could touch how beautiful it really is. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the hot water bottle cozy I was making. So this is going to its owner this week. He had bought previously one of my hot water bottle cozies, and he approached the shop and asked if I could do another one with mushrooms on it. Now, I probably could have found a fair old chart for mushrooms, but I decided I wanted to make up my own. So I drew some mushrooms out on some graph paper and then sort of pixelated them, and this is what I came up with. I'm also using up my scraps of Rowan felted tweed, because I think I've made 3 blankets now in that lovely yarn, and so I've got a lot of scraps. So this is how I'm using them up. On the back I put one little mushroom. I've done a flap at the bottom because I think it's easier to put a hot water bottle in from the bottom, especially if you've already got hot water in it. Although if you've got one of these, I would recommend putting this on your hot water bottle first and then filling it. We've got someone coming over to join us. There you go. Good boy. Let's move that down for you. Where are you going? Can you see him? Say hello. Say hello to everyone. Oh, he just loves a chin rub. Look at that. He's a good boy. I'm highly allergic to cats, so I really have to go and wash my hands in a minute. So I've taken the base pattern off this for the shaping and everything off a Marie Wallen pattern I found on Ravelry, but everything else is mine. So this is hers, the shaping is hers, and the tie and the little flowers are hers. But the flap and everything at the bottom is all my idea. And I found these really nice buttons that I had in my stash. Here you, what are you doing? You can jump up there. Have a get. He's a good boy. So this, I didn't actually really enjoy making it all that much, but funnily enough, now because I've seen how lovely it's finished, it's inspired me to make some more for next winter. So once we get the summer holiday period over, I think I'll get a couple more of these on the needles for the shop. I'm thinking of doing one in a solid colour or even striping it, but with a cape, beautiful. I did one last year with like a Celtic cable, Celtic cable up the middle. I'm so distracted. Up the middle, and that was really nice. I thought that would look really nice with 3 or 4 stripes of colour across as well. I thought I also might design a band of colour work mushrooms that will go around the back, and then I can knit it in the round. I started off doing these mushrooms in intarsia, but I know the back of intarsia is always a mess, but the front also looked a mess and I just wasn't happy with it, so I pulled it all back and started again. And I'm really happy with this now. And when the hot water bottle's in it and it stretches out even more, it looks so good. So that's going to its new owner either Monday or Wednesday, and I think he'll be happy with it. I just want to keep, it's very soft, this yarn too, absolutely beautiful. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and he wanted some bright colours in it, so hopefully I've fulfilled the brief. I did have a really bright glitzy cotton acrylic blend that I was going to use, but you know, it had lots of colours in it, and it was just too busy. The mushrooms I would have had to do like in a black or a white, and he wanted the red caps on them. So here in Australia, they are not death cap mushrooms. You'll all know what I mean. He sent me a photo of the type of mushrooms he wanted, so I just drew the picture from that. So that's that. And there's something else I'm doing for the shop that a lot of you lovely people have already knitted, but the owner of the shop asked if we could have a chook. Now, I think I told you about this in my last episode, and we've been away for a few days down south at our friends in Denmark. So he's saying, what's going on? He's all confused. So I managed to do a little bit there, but we were talking, we were in their spa, we were just having a lovely chill out time. But I have done a little bit of progress. What do you want? You want your toys. His toys are in this little cat house. Yeah. I'll just get it and show you. So for this project, it's the Emotional Support Chicken by, I've got the pattern here. I better tell you the designer, because I would hate to be the designer and have my name omitted. By Emotional Support Chicken by The Knitting Tree LA is the company. Now, the lady who produced this does say on her pattern that it's for personal use only and no sales of finished work without permission. So I messaged her on Ravelry and I told her about the shop where I sell my things. I said to her there's probably ever only going to be half a dozen of them. And she very kindly emailed me back and gave me her permission, so I can go ahead and sell them in the shop without any fear of being called out for it. And I don't mind that with designers. If they want to do that, that's their prerogative. I would never sell something if they put that on their pattern without asking them first. So the yarns I'm using are, and I haven't got any labels to show you, but some time ago I knitted a harvest card jacket by Tin Can Knits, and I bought this beautiful yarn from, oh gosh, they've got a knitting podcast. Used to be two sisters in Canada, now it's just one sister. I'm going to have to find that out and put it for you in the screen later. And this is the yarn I knitted it in, and I just love it so much. It's an Aran weight, but I ordered far too much and I've got all this left. So I thought, perfect. I also had a ball of this red 8-ply or DK weight from Bendigo Woolen Mills. And look how beautiful they're knitting up. So this is the tail end, and I've picked up stitches and working up the body now. And I'm going to sit and do this afternoon because I'm not allowed to do anything else after having the injection in my leg. So this afternoon and tomorrow I'm going to be getting a lot of work done on this. Hoping to get it in the shop before Christmas would be ideal. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to how it works up. And then I can do some more in other colours as well. So that's the Emotional Support Chicken. I've got a big bag of stuffing down in my spare room. I've got safety eyes. So yeah, it'll look really good, I think. I'm looking forward to showing you the end result. I'm actually really enjoying this one. Now, at first I wasn't, but now I'm getting into it. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know what it is now. Isn't it funny how some projects bring you so much joy when you're knitting them, and others it's like you really want the finished product, so you persevere, but it's meh while you're doing it. You know that horrible new word they all use, meh. Me, M-E-H. Okay, so that's that. I'm always interested in a bit of the history of knitting. And I was having a poke around on, where is it? The National Library of Australia website. And they've got this section called Trove, where it's got all these archives and things from the past that you can search. And I found this. Now this was published in, I'm guessing it was like a magazine. It was called Home, an Australian Quarterly. And it was in a 1934 edition. So let me read this out to you. I think you'll get quite a bit of fun out of this. It's very small. I've enlarged it on my phone, but that's made it all blurry. This is the Empire. For those of you who don't know, Australia used to be part of the British Commonwealth. So we had the Empire Games then, not the Commonwealth Games. Everything was, the Empire. And this is called the Empire Knitting Competition. Now, this is going to be hard to read. It's not too early to begin making plans for entries in the Empire Knitting Competition to be judged at the centenary next spring. £500 will be distributed in prizes, and the competition includes a wide variety from babies' layettes to rugs for the floor. A special department is organised for children's entries as well. Information regarding the competition and entry forms can be obtained from blah, blah, blah. Patons, now a lot of people watching this from years gone by, people around my age, will remember, we can still get Patons wool here, but it used to be like the only wool. They had Totem, they had, what was their 5-ply one? Bluebell. Totem was the DK 8-ply weight. Bluebell was the 5-ply or sport weight, and they only did 4-ply in like a baby yarn, I think. Patons, and I think it's Baldwin's, it's a bit hard to read. Limited, let me see if I can enlarge it. Baldwin's Limited have a most attractive selection of wools suitable for the various articles to be judged, as well as several new lines for autumn jumpers and cardigans. Especially smart are the Kempsey wools, which are so like the Kemp tweeds. A white hair is spun into the strand, and the effect when knitted is very 1934. Sunbeam knitting wools, all these companies are gone now. Sunbeam knitting wools have a good selection of colours for autumn. Their greys are particularly attractive as they come in various shades, also in smart heather mixtures. Their wools are famous for their softness and for the fact that they don't rub or fluff. Do you think that means pilling? The Sunbeam people put out excellent pattern books too, with instructions for making exclusive continental jumpers, jackets, caps and scarves. You can choose any model from the simplest to the most intricate, with confidence of it being new and smart. Well, how about that? £500 was it? So I've done a bit of research, and from what I can gather, £500 in 1934 would be equivalent to about $5,000 today. Can you imagine any knitting or craft magazine running a competition that was so popular they had to provide that sort of prize money? It really shows how things have changed, doesn't it? So all this inspired me to have a look at some of my old vintage knitting patterns. Now, some of these were handed down from my grandmother, and some I've purchased on eBay. These are mostly baby ones, I think. So when people used to have a baby, people used to knit what they called a layette. And I think it was like a little dress with a matinee, they used to call them matinee jackets, and a little hat and little mittens and little booties. And I've got this lovely old book. It's a Paton's book. And look at some of these beautiful, beautiful things. Do you remember the day? Every now and then you can go to a craft show and you'll find someone at a knitting store that still knits these. Look at this one. They're so gorgeous. I've still got some Peyton's 3-ply and 4-ply yarns. Look at this gorgeous jacket. So I might even have a go at knitting one of these, and I could perhaps gift it to someone when they have a baby. I don't know how well that would go down in 2025. But these are, and remember the shawls? Oh, I think I put a cover on this book. I have a feeling I knitted one out of here. Let me see if I can find it. I think I've knitted that one in a pale blue. And some of these were such popular designs. A lot of you will remember them. Just so many beautiful things. I know that Peyton's did put out a book quite a long time, must be 30 years ago now, of like classics redefined, and they reprinted a lot of these old designs using the modern day yarns and things. They also used to always have 1 or 2 crochet patterns in them as well. I've knitted this one, and I think this one is reproduced in that book I was just talking about. I think you can actually still buy that book. But yeah, so I thought I'd just like to share that with you, and I think some of these are going to go on knitting plans for the future. I have also got some adult ones somewhere. They were very form-fitting, very thin yarns, nothing big and bulky back in those days. Yeah, it's a very different world, wasn't it, to what we have now. And I think people then used to knit because you didn't have the variety of things to buy ready-made. And I think yarn was a lot cheaper then. I remember all our stories of our grandmothers knitting us V-neck school jumpers, and they were so scratchy and itchy it put people off wool for life. It'd be interesting to see how kids would go wearing those now because they're so soft. But I imagine that sadly now if they wore a hand-knitted school jumper to school, they'd maybe be mocked and ridiculed. I don't know. It's not really the norm these days, isn't it? Is it? Which is rather a sad thing, I think. Well, it must be my age. I must be getting old. Right, I'm almost there. So Christmas is coming, and as any of my long-term viewers know, I always like to cast on something special on Christmas night. We always have our celebrations from the morning through to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Then our visitors go home, or we go home, and then the night is for us. And we usually put a elf on the TV or something like that, and I start a new project. Last Christmas it was my Herzblut shawl because that was my Christmas present from my husband. This year I'm going to start this beautiful one. I showed it to you the last episode. I bought the yarn for this when we were in Bendigo this year. I wasn't there for the Wool and Sheep Festival. I don't do well in crowds, and my knees, the way they have been, I could not have walked the distances. It's a lot of walking around at Bendigo at the Sheep Festival. I have been before, and I knew my knees wouldn't be able to do it this year. I was happy, and also it's not held here at Bendigo Woolen Mills. It's held in a different location, but Bendigo Woolen Mills almost sort of participate, I suppose. They open up their shop. They have hundreds of people through, and it is so busy. So we went 2 weeks before, and it was great. We were the only people in the shop. Oh, there was 1 or 2 other people came in just as we were about to leave. So this is going to be made the main colour. I think I showed you last time. It's the Luxury Ghost colour, Luxury 8-ply in Ghost, which is a lovely grey. But the grey almost has a very sort of soft lilac-y tinge to it. It's beautiful. It's very soft. I love their yarn. And then I'm holding that together with their new lilt, which is made in Italy. And it is 70% mohair and 30% silk. I think those 2 colours will be perfect together. Then the contrasting yarn at the yoke, and this is designed so that it's very subtle and you sort of just get pops of the colour coming through. So rather than just stripes, it's just all very subtle and blends in. So I'm using this one. And there's darker shades of more that you go into it, there's more of the lilac-y colour. And that will also be held with the lilt. So it's going to be very subtle. A lot of it you won't see any difference at all, but that's what I want. So I'm really excited. I haven't even looked yet to see if it's knit from the top. Oh yes, it is. It's knit top down. So I will make sure I've got all the needles and everything ready to go. Thankfully, I don't have to wind anything. And I'm looking forward to that. I haven't even worked out what size. I'm not even going to swatch. I'm just going to wing it and hope for the best. Of course, my size keeps changing at the moment anyway, so I'm just going to do what will fit, knit for the size that would fit me now. And if it ends up a bit loose, well, that's a good thing, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So that's their pattern number. You can buy these online. Pattern number 8706. It actually has some really nice patterns on there. You can see in the yoke how it's very subtle. So I think it's going to be just beautiful. They had the colours there too that this was knitted in, and it was, they actually had the sample. They had this sample in the shop, and it was really, really lovely. So I can't wait to start that. So that's all my knitting. I think I've probably waffled on for long enough. I also just wanted to tell you about a podcast new to me that I've been watching, and probably many of you have already discovered it. I'm a bit late with these things. It's another Australian podcast, a beautiful young lady, and I can't even think of her name, but her podcast is called Lovely Day Knits. And she's quite new to knitting, but she is knitting some exquisite things. And she has a background in media production. So her videos are top class. I mean, this here, what you're seeing is very, just stick a camera up and film. She does videos throughout the day. They live in a tiny home on her parents' property. And it is just, and she is so happy and bubbly, a beautiful young lady, and I really would recommend watching her. So that's Lovely Day Knits on YouTube. Well, that's it for me today. I shall see you in about a month, and happy knitting, everybody. Bye.